FOMO.
Something's happening.
What is
and
FOMO?
You want to know what it is. The fear of missing out.
Boy, that's a hard one.
Welcome back to the Healthy Sleep Podcast by Mattress Grove. We're your hosts, John and David. We're brothers, owners, and operators here at Mattress Grove, a third-generation business here in Greensboro, North Carolina, for over 50 years. And I'm feeling a little anxious and a little stressed out today.
Oh my goodness! Well, why are you feeling anxious and stressed out?
Because I think that's what we're going to talk about today.
Oh yeah, well that does. Yeah, well every time these cameras turn on, I get a little anxious and stressed out. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
And that's. I mean, I don't like to say that, but I mean, it's different.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
It's different, no question about it. I mean, you don't think about it until you do it. I mean, you can selfie on your phone. But, man, when you put a camera in front of your face, it gets a little bit.
That's
and
right.
Somebody might listen to it.
That's right. Well, I mean, I can video all the things I want to, but when you hit that little button that says post, that's when my anxiety goes through the roof.
Yeah, start getting little clammy palms for sure. So you're a little anxious. I mean, but everything else is going pretty good.
Everything else is okay.
Yeah. Well, I knew we had a little issue in the factory, but we had a conveyor go down.
Right.
And so that stops all the operations, So, but man, do we have great people here. I mean, every single person we have here at Mattress Grove, I mean, they step up. I mean, our chief mechanic, he went to work, came in here at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning.
Yeah, he was up till 7:30, milling product.
Yeah,
milling the steel and stuff. So yeah.
But I mean, he's one of amazing people we have. Everybody would do that. Yeah. I mean, and so we're just so fortunate to have the very best artisans here, the handcrafting, and you can't handcraft if the machines don't work.
That's right.
So anyway,
it's not just about the mattresses.
No,
it's about getting the mattresses produced properly.
Yeah. But anyway, we definitely, I know he had some anxiety because he takes so much pride in what he does, and so. Man, that's Anyway, we all had low anxiety, but he always gets it done, and everybody does. Right. We can ship 10 trucks out of here, and people stay here until it gets done because we got to take care of people's sleep.
That's right.
So anyway, but yeah, man, everything else is going good, man. We got daylight savings time coming up, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about losing hours sleep. We gained an hour back in the fall.
Yeah, I'm getting anxious, even more anxious.
Dang, I know. Give me a towel. I'm starting to sweat. Dang, man. Yeah. So we'll talk about that because we'll have to gain that hour back, and we know when you lose an hour, it takes a day or two.
That's right.
of being aware. So anyway, yeah. So today let's talk about I mean, what the real kind of epidemic going on right now is people being anxious and stressed and that affects your sleep. That affects your life. I mean, that affects your heart, affects your brain, and
attitude.
Definitely your mood, your tude, and your mood. So, but we're not professionals here. I mean, we're professional mattress guys, but we're here to kind of talk from a layman's standpoint. We're going to talk about some things that we know other people do, and some things that we've tried to help with anxiety and stress, because there is nobody that I know in this world, on this earth at least, that doesn't get anxiety and stress at some point.
Right.
Probably every day, but anyway, definitely every week or every month. I mean, we just we can hide from it, but the best thing to do is what people tell me, and what I've become aware of is when you start feeling those anxieties and stress, and then we'll talk more about what we can do, right? Because we have a lot of things coming at us. I was listening to a podcast earlier this week, and I was sharing with our team here, sharing with Meredith and Yvonne, and I mentioned it. I think I mentioned it to you, but if not, it was a. Actually, it wasn't a podcast. It was just a little a reel where the gentleman was talking about, if you were born as in Generation X, that's like what 1967, 5, something
Right.
like that to 1980. We were born without all these devices, so we didn't have that same anxiety, same stress that people today. And I don't want to say we manage it better because
Right.
but our brains were created differently, so we don't really look to the social media the same way that
Correct.
people, the millennials and the next generations are. So, but we totally get it because I know I get stressed out.
It's a big impact. It's a huge impact. It's again, it's one of those things where you're constantly being given stuff to look at and feel it, and so unless you can put it aside, try it sometime. It's hard. It's hard. Just set that social media over there. Set the phone over there. Don't look at it, and you'll start to build up that stress level and that anxiety of, well, am I missing something?
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
That
Yep.
is very true.
Yep.
So, so by the end of the episode, we really want everybody just to realize, hey, let's we're going to talk about becoming aware. We're going to talk about a couple things, but to try to help. But by the end of the episode, we should be able to giving you some good information that you can try to to eliminate these anxiety and stress situations, for sure. And I mean, you were mentioning, the cell phone or the tablets. I mean, everybody has, not everybody, but a lot of people have the notifications, on. So like you said, that, I have to turn off all my devices when I come in here.
Yep.
For sure. Because, if a notification comes up, all of a sudden, hey, we're supposed to look at it.
Yep.
So, but that's that FOMO, right?
Absolutely. Something's happening.
FOMO.
Something's happening.
What is
and
FOMO?
You want to know what it is. The fear of missing out.
Boy, that's a hard one.
Fear. It's fear.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
Fear creates stress.
Oh yeah, it does.
No doubt, and anxiety. So, and again, there's a lot of different things that we can do to, alleviate those things. And, we talk about setting the phone aside, but just setting the phone aside doesn't do it, because it's sitting over here and you're thinking about it sitting over here. So, can you get into yourself, give yourself permission to let that go? Think about, your breathing for a second. Feel your body.
Mm-hmm.
Feel where you are. Try to figure out what those pieces are for you, so that you are actually, intentionally letting that go. And you'll feel the anxiety go away. You'll feel the stress level go down. And that's true for anything when you're feeling stress. If you just stop for a second, breathe deep, feel it, get your senses of your body and what's going on with your body. That's one thing that works for me.
Yeah, well, 100%. I mean, and I like to share this because I have to practice this every day, but I love to share with people, that being intentionally aware of and intentionally where you are, be where you are, and we talk about that a lot because, with everything going on, if we're looking at notifications, if we're looking at our phone when we're with somebody else, I mean, that's really a horrible thing, because we're not being, where we are, where our feet are, talk about, be where your feet are. And then that can be a lot less stressful because you're focused on what you're doing right now rather than what you think that you should be doing, or what that notification or what your phone's telling you, right? So, just having that intentional being where you are. If you need to be somewhere else, then be there.
Right.
Be there.
Yep.
And so, but where you are, be where you are. And then if you need to be somewhere else, go where you are.
And a great example was the other night. I'm having dinner with my daughter, and she's over there with her phone, and she's picking it up. And we're trying to have a conversation, and I was like, "Who's with us? Is there I mean, I only see two people, but I see you on your phone, so somebody else is with us. Who is that?" And it's funny because I watched her. the FOMO kicks in. I don't want to miss out on this, or I'm trying to have a conversation and on my phone and with you, and I'm like, that's not how it works, And that goes back to the generational thing. We were taught and to be present with somebody if you're trying to have a conversation. So, again, it was just a interesting interaction where I was just sitting there going, I don't know how to explain this to her because she feels like she's in both conversations, and so it was just like, okay, well, I just want to know who's with us so that I can say hello at least.
Yeah, exactly.
And she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, well, who's on the phone? And she was like, oh, I got it now. So
how'd she accept that pretty good? I mean, you think that
she
set
the phone down for a few seconds and then picked it back up.
I know, right? It's too hard.
It's hard.
It's the one of the strongest drugs that there is around. And again, it's hard for us sometimes to relate as being Gen Xers with kids that were born in the 2000s, because again, they grew up. She grew up with a phone or a device early on. So our brains are wired differently. So they don't understand. That phone right there is taking you away from where you're trying to be.
Right, but and that's their social connection. Yeah, and I had a different social connection. She had multiple social connections going on at the same time.
Yes, absolutely. And going back to again notifications. I've tried it, and I'm actually doing it now. When I come to work and I'm focused on the day being here, I just turn off my notifications, because if I don't, there's no way. I mean, on my computer, on my tablet, on my phone, there's no way that when you get that little notification up there that your eyes don't go there. Or if I'm happen to be writing down on a sheet of paper and my phone or my tablet goes bling, then it's like you look there, and it takes you away from your focus. Yep. And now I feel out, I need to I need to respond to this because it was an email from somebody important. They can wait. Right. I mean, they can wait. And people that do the best, and this is not what I do best by any means. I'm practicing, but they time block it. So you time block it, and you turn off your notifications. You handle these things. Have your power list or whatever. Yep. Thank you, Andy Frisella. We love our power list. It's 5 things, 3 things, whatever it is, but it's 5 things every day. I got to accomplish. There's no flexibility there.
Right.
But then it could just be call your mom. But that's a good one to put on there.
Make sure.
But anyway, I turn off notifications so I can get those things done. And then, hey, I look at what is on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn. At this point in time, then I shut it off again. So you time block it. Is it easy? No, it's just discipline though. But if you do it for, I guess I hadn't been doing it for long enough to say that I've got to have it yet. Right. They say 21 days, and so but it definitely I'm definitely more productive and less stressed because but I can't. I have to say, guys, my freaking brain wants to go and say, why isn't my phone dinging? Yep. Why haven't I had any notifications? So again, I'm trying to.
Or how many do I have?
How many do I have? Yeah, I got to answer. And was it my most important customer called, or or my mom or my dad or my brother or somebody in the factory that needs me right now today? Right. I don't turn off my ringer. I keep that on. So if anybody needs me, if you call John or David. Yeah, it's going to ring to my phone, and I'm going to pick it up, because that's the most important thing is helping other people get better night's sleep. Now, if you call me every 5 seconds, I may have to change. I'd say, David, you answer that one. But seriously, that definitely helps with anxiety and stress. And I know you've mentioned to me in the past about doing cold plunges, and I've never been a real big fan of cold water.
I'm not a fan at all. It is, but it's true. It does work. I mean, it does make you, because you all of a sudden all you can think about is breathing. I mean, you're getting that breath. And so all of a sudden you really do have no choice but to think about what your body's doing. You're not thinking about anything. You're not thinking about the last message I missed or what's going on. You're thinking about how do I get warm again quick?
Yeah.
So, but it does. I mean, it definitely lets your body relax too. Afterwards, you come out and you go, "Hey, I made it through that,"
Yeah.
because that was rough
Yeah.
for
So
me. I mean, it's rough.
oh yeah, no, and I think it's probably rough for everybody, but I think again, if you can get into the habit, but it seems to me that any of these techniques, whether it's deep breathing, which is you don't have to get cold for that. Now, if
Right.
you get cold, you're going to do that. If you
Correct.
get in a cold plunge, it's going to create that. But the deep breathing piece is good. I've used that before, where you breathe in with all the way through, and then you exhale really, really slow, and then you breathe in again. And what it creates is just the same thing as what you're talking about. It creates, you have to be aware and present where you are.
Right.
And so it takes the stress away, because you can't be thinking about the stressful part when you're thinking about breathing in, deep breathing, and then going out really slow. And sometimes they say, make a sound. I won't blow on the microphone, but when you're doing, but that's the same thing as a cold plunge. You get in there, like you said, and all you can focus on is just staying alive.
Yep.
And that makes you alive. And then you get out, and like you said, you accomplish something. So, and you don't have to do it long. I mean, whether it's a cold plunge or the deep breathing, or grounding. I mean,
yeah, and in general exercises, or just any exercise, but general really does help as well. But again, everything we're mentioning is interesting, because I don't think anybody recommends getting on your phone to reduce stress or anxiety. I have not seen one document that says that reduces stress or anxiety. Not one.
not going to. I did, because it doesn't.
It creates that.
It creates it. And again, I hate this. I hate to say this, but I think it's intentional. It's intentional, from the big powers to be to create this, because then when we're in this stressful and anxiety situation, we can't really focus on much other than trying to get out of it.
Right.
So we're a lot more powerful and strong as a human race, as human beings, by using some of these techniques and getting out of that, getting out of that stress. And drugs and supplements, strong supplements, not natural, but strong supplements. People are way abusing. Doctors are abusing it.
Yep.
And once you get into that system and you start using them, it's hard to get out, because again, the placebo effect, even if it's not working for you, it still makes you think, I'm used to taking this, and it helps me with anxiety, or it helps me with stress, or it helps me with sleep.
Yeah.
And I get it, but we can try these other things, and if we focus on it and give it time, I promise you, we will be better. I just talking about grounding. What the heck is grounding? I mean, I was like, that's crazy. I mean, well, when we were kids, we grounded all the time. That's what we did. We went outside with our shoes off and played.
Yep.
And today we don't do that. It's all about being where you are, present where you are.
Yep. Very intentional.
Yeah. I don't think grounding works just to go outside and then get on your phone. I think that's probably a bad thing to do. But if you go outside and you ground, and you can feel the energy coming from the earth into your feet through your body, that's grounding. To me, and from what people say, we have a lot. I mean, all this stuff is. I mean, I'm not a professional. I'm sharing what works.
And what I've
experienced,
what you've experienced, and what I've experienced, and again, those are the things that's where we are. We just want to share some of the things that we're trying. We're focused on being healthy. We're focused on trying to get better sleep, and making sure that what we're doing and what's working.
Yeah.
What's working, because I mean, the one thing that works for me, and I don't do it all the time, but I want to do it all the time, and it comes back to discipline and everything else. I want to get up every day at the same time.
Yeah.
And I do that, like, I don't know, I've done it probably 70-80% of the time for this year. The days that I do it, and the 5 days in a row that I do it are great days. And then the days I don't do it mess me up and get me off track. And, those days are more stressful. There's more, when I don't get my habit in, I become more stressed. I become more anxious. And, it's just because I'm not as intentional for that day.
Yeah.
So I allow the day to take advantage of me.
Yeah, no, that's true. And that's being present. But yeah, you're exactly right. And, we hadn't talked a whole lot about sleep on this yet, but yeah, obviously we're going to, because that's I hate to say it, but it's true. That's probably the easiest thing to do. It's the hardest. Actually, it's not the easiest. It might be it might be one of the most difficult, but it's the simplest.
Right.
It's simple, but not easy, because when I say it's simple, all you gotta do is go to bed.
Right.
Now, actually, we talk about it. All you gotta do is get up early.
Get up early.
Get up early in the morning.
Will shut you down,
and then you start shutting down, and it's easier to go to sleep. But if we get up late and we stay up late, that'll create us to stay up late. Then we start that vicious cycle again.
Yep.
So all of these stress problems and anxiety, decreased anxiety, causes our body to lose melatonin. It's because how our brain works. Our brain's stressed. It doesn't create melatonin, so we don't sleep because we're stressed. So then couple that with not sleeping, not going to bed on time and getting 4 or 5, 6 hours of sleep. Now you're messing your circadian rhythm up because you're sleeping in later and you're trying to make up for it on the weekends. So the body's not creating that melatonin.
Right.
So, a simple thing is get up early in the morning. Get up before the sun comes up, or at least when, it can be coming up, but that's what people tell me, and that's what experts say, is get up before the sun comes up, and it sets your circadian rhythm. And, I agree, because
it does work.
Yeah, it does work 100%. I keep my blinds open in my bedroom because I want to know if I'm still in bed and the sun's up, that's bad.
Yep.
That's bad. I better be sick. And then if I'm sick, I'll turn the blinds.
Yep.
But 99% of the time, knock on wood, I don't get very sick. I don't get sick very often. My blinds are open, and they're open, to the east side, so the sun comes up and it gets me up if I'm not up. So anyway, definitely the melatonin piece is important,
right?
For sleep.
Yeah, and I mean, again, if you're not getting enough sleep, then you're gonna get, even if you're getting up at that early time in the morning, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm a little exhausted this morning. A cup of coffee will get me through, and that's fine. A cup of coffee is fine, but when you're into 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm about to fall asleep. Now I drink a cup of coffee. You're getting into you're starting to really impose on your sleep.
Yep.
Because now you have caffeine that's pumping you through the afternoon, and that's not good.
No, that's not.
When it's bad.
Coffee.
See, yeah. But it's still morning time.
It's still morning though. But
so you can have that.
I got my coffee right here. Good old local brew here. So I'm gonna have me a sip because I'm starting to. No, actually, I'm feeling good, but might as well have a sip.
Yeah. So, again, those are the things that we innocently start to develop those habits. And, then can we function? Yeah, we can function. Are we functioning at the highest level? Not a chance. Not even close to what you're capable of. So, again, that's what it's about, is trying to prep that sleep time so that when you do go to sleep, that you're able to relax, do the different things, deep breathing and those things, to let that anxiety and that stress come out, put all the digital devices aside, get a great night's sleep, wake up in the morning at the same time, and next thing you know, your day is going to start off and be great.
Yeah.
And your stress level, you can handle a whole lot more stress. You can because there's going to be stress and there's going to be anxiety.
Yep.
It's going to happen every day, just about.
If you're doing anything.
Yeah,
and that's not a bad thing.
Yep,
I mean,
no.
stress and anxiety.
Healthy.
Yeah, stress and anxiety at the right level is good for us, because it creates us to move forward, and then you level up every time. For sure, some people, and I've tried this too. Some people have they do yoga. They do yoga before they go to bed. Get on the floor. Or you can do it in your bed. Depends on how your mattress is, but you can do it in your mattress. Do it on top of your mattress. But just stretch. Very simple stretching, and again, it's intentional. You need to breathe, but it's just do it for 3, 4, 5 minutes. You don't have to do it long, and then it just sets you. But the things. The more you can do it consistently, it goes back to what you had mentioned. Just being consistent. Don't try something just for one day or one night. Give it a week at least, and then see if it's working for you. And then if you do it for 3 weeks, I promise you, then 4 weeks, 21 days, you're gonna you'll create that habit. And then you won't be able to sleep without it, and which is not a
Right.
bad thing.
Right.
Again, we stress a lot. I mean, we have, we're third generation family owned and operated company right here in Greensboro, North Carolina, making mattresses to help people get a better night's sleep. So we stress. I mean, because just because we want to make sure we make the very best product for everybody, but we have these big, huge corporations, these $1 trillion, I guess there's some trillion now, we're right at it. They're multi-billion-dollar companies that we compete with. And, they're always after us, and they're always trying to gobble up, our customers, or gobble up, which they did. I mean, they gobble up Mat Firm.
Yep.
The big guys are gobbling up Mat Firm. Now they're trying to gobble up our suppliers. And so I would say that's going to be a monopoly, and that's not a good situation for you. It's not a good situation for any of us. But that stresses me out because they've gone in and bought us off the floor. We have, mattresses on a floor of a chain of stores, and next thing you know, they come in and say, well, we'll give you $1 million. We'll give you $10 million to take Mattress Grove off, because they know they can't compete with us on the floor. Right. They can't compete with us on the floor because we have the very best products and the very best service. And our team, our sales team, goes out and trains the people that you guys are talking to help them help you. Ask the right questions, like we've talked about. So that stresses me out, because you never know when they're going to come and do it, and they can do it. They got a lot of money, coming in from private equity and so forth, and they got a lot of money they can take out of their product because they spend a ton of money on marketing, which comes out of their product. So and that's a stress for me. But hopefully, as people understand what's going on, that those products are nowhere as good. They're nowhere as well handmade. They're not handmade. They're not hand tufted, because they can't afford to do that, because they got to pay their investors, and they got to make more profits, and they got to do the things that private equity and big companies do, which is cheapen the product. Yeah. It's never ever happened ever a private equity company come in and make better product.
Right.
They always gut it, make it worse, and make it better for their investors. That's what they do.
That's what they do.
And they hurt the consumer, and then they hurt their suppliers. But anyway, we just want to help everybody get a better night's sleep.
That's it. I mean, and a lot of the tactics that are used in the marketing is fear tactics. So be aware. Those are some of the things to talk about. Nasty mattress. Your mattress is full of bed bugs and all kinds of stuff like that. And those are fear tactics that just scare you into needing a new mattress, having to get a new mattress. Everybody else's mattresses are this. I don't think that's going to be true. So,
right, exactly, and again, that creates that definitely creates the fear, and then then they'll have a sale on a holiday. We just came off President's Day sale. People are off $1,000 off of half price. I mean, come on. If you can offer half price, then their products are way overpriced from the very beginning. We're in the business. We know. Again, we're happy to talk to you guys about this. That's why they call John and David is important, because again, we'll share with you what we know. And then you can go research it and fact find it and make sure that it's true. Yeah. That's why we're open to do that for sure. And again, if you're having trouble, with anxiety, and we've talked about a lot of different things, but what do you think might be a starting point for somebody who's having anxiety and or stress, and they're not sleeping well? I've tried this or that. What do you think? What do you think it might be a good starting point? If I'm taking supplements, or I'm taking I'm taking Ambien to sleep, or that's horrible.
Yeah. One intentional thing that I know works for me, and I think it can work for everybody really, is just take that phone, go when you go to brush your teeth before you go to bed, take that phone and set it aside, and don't go back to it. Brush your teeth. That one thing will prepare you for the rest of the evening. just because you're intentionally doing it. You're intentionally setting it aside, putting it over there, turning the notifications off. It makes you think about relaxing because you're not going to worry about that. You're going to set that over there.
Yeah, I love that idea. Brush your teeth before you brush your teeth. Absolutely. Put your device down. It's important, obviously, to each one of us because we have important people in our lives that we would want to talk to or be able to. They reach out to us. So, a lot of people tell me that put their phone not on their nightstand, but they put it on their dresser. And they also have ringtones for certain people, right? And they leave those on so that, if their mom or their son or their daughter or their husband or wife or whatever calls, then you'll know that. And because, again, that would cause me stress because that's what I do.
Right.
That would cause me total stress. I'm going to sleep and I'm just going to get off the grid. There's too many things that I would want to know about. That is important. I don't want to know that somebody, somebody did something on Instagram and it was cool.
Right. Exactly.
I can wait till 5 a.m. for that.
Yes. Yeah. And it's mainly about not scrolling. You get into that doom scrolling and all that just takes you down, and next thing you know, you've scrolled for 3 hours.
Exactly.
That's exaggeration, but maybe.
I know. No. It can happen for sure. I've done maybe not 3, but I've done probably close to it. And again, we're not hating on social media. We love social media. Social media is necessary. It's a great place to find information. Again, fact check it, just like you do AI. ChatGPT does not tell you the facts every time because it's a computer. It's pulling data from everybody. But social media is great. We love social media. Here at Mattress Grove because it helps, and we learn about what other people are doing. We learn about marketing. We learn all kinds of things. So any kind of media is radio, TV, newspaper. Newspaper. I guess we still got newspaper. Well, I've seen a newspaper. It's just been a while. Man, golly, I'm not going to go. We used to read newspaper every day, guys. And you just wanted to get that ink on your fingers. That means you got up and you did something.
The black ink and the remember Play-Doh?
Oh man,
taking the Play-Doh, mashing it down, picking the image off. Oh my gosh,
that was awesome. But they can't do that anymore. We don't do newspapers.
Remember we met Dr. Lemke at the conference last year.
Man, she was awesome. She was great.
She was
awesome.
Talking about the filling your day and stuff like that. Going back,
it was a balloon. Why didn't you use a balloon?
Take a balloon, fill your balloon up. So at the end of the day, you can unpack that balloon. The things you shove into your balloon that would help you through the day, like when you drive down the road, open your sunroof, get that fresh air. Get the sunlight beating on you. Just naturally, those natural things really make you feel good. But noticing them and taking that in and being aware of that and remembering that at the end of the day, when you unpack your balloon, makes you rest and all of a sudden you're going to sleep so much better.
Yeah.
That was a really, really cool way to think about things.
Yeah. Because she went through basically what we were talking about. Get you some exercise. Fill your day. Fill your day. Then it's hard not to get a good night's sleep. And unless you have a bad mattress.
Yeah, and the thing that I thought was so interesting was to take your day at the end of the day and unpack it and think about all the things that you actually experienced through the day.
Yeah.
And not all of them, but a few of them, a few moments. If you can unpack those at the end of the day,
sure,
and just kind of sit there, all of a sudden, it just calms your body.
Yeah, no, it does, and that's where people, again, if you be grateful for whatever it was. If you just finish your power list, be grateful, but be grateful for the people around you. Be grateful, and that helps calm too, because we accomplish a lot every day. Yep. We as humans, going to work every day, helping other people, no matter where you are, being present. There's a lot of things to be grateful for. So thank you for tuning in to the Healthy Sleep Podcast by Mattress Grove, a third-generation family-owned and operated business located right here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Our goal of every one of these podcasts is just to bring you guys a little bit more knowledge so that you can make the proper decisions during your day. We'll talk about sleep. We'll talk about health. But our goal is so that you will get better sleep and so you'll have a better day, because one better day will make a better life over a period of time. So if you like this podcast, if you got anything out of this podcast, please hit that notification and like it. And that way you will get a notification of the next episode. And if you know somebody struggling with sleep, because we all do, share this podcast with them. Let them know about it and see what they say. They actually might even thank you for that. So just remember, call John and David at 336-280-0077. We're here to help. Until next time,
get
better
sleep.
Let's go.